Hello, you guys. Welcome to our nutrition boot camp call this week. I'm so amped to chat with you guys. I was actually going to have, I had something else on my mind that I wanted to chat with you guys about today, but we have a new fabulous person here, our girl Cheyenne, and she was like, can we please chat about affirmations? I've heard you and your sister talk about them all the time, and I just want to chat more about affirmations. And so I was like, when was the last time that I even talked to people about affirmations and how to create them? So we're going to do something a little different today. I'm going to talk about them, and then I'm going to ask for a little volunteer. Okay. And we're going to do like a little workshop almost where I can help you create one. And I'll do at least one live for the people on the recording so that the people who are on the recording can get a vibe for how to do it and how to make it work and how to figure it out. And then we'll stop the recording at our half-hour mark, just like we always do. And then instead of doing our normal chat stuff for the last 30 minutes where we just get to know each other better, if anybody wants to, the people who are on live, we can work through and help everybody find at least one affirmation for themselves so that you can figure out how do I do this? How do I make my own? Because it is so empowering. And I will tell you, just a little backstory. Affirmations are my go-to place when I figure out anything that's been holding me back. And you guys know, I do a lot of work on my mindset, right? When I read a book and when I read a book and something flares up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I clearly have a block there. Or if I'm talking with my husband and I'm like, oh my gosh, I clearly have a block there or a limiting belief of some sort. Or if I'm at church and oh my gosh, I clearly have a block there, or I'm believing something that is not true, or I go to therapy, or I talk to my betrayal trauma coach, or I fill in the blank. I'm talking to my mom. I make a new affirmation probably every single week because I realize a deeper level or something that I had never thought of before, or I realize, I think I was close when I had that affirmation, but I just recognized a deeper layer. So now I want to make it even better, make it even deeper. So I want to give you these tools for how to write and create your own affirmations and how to recognize those limiting beliefs inside of you so that you can take this, run with it, and then just grow into the best version of you. And really, truly, okay, I know you because you guys are my people, right? You probably are like me and you struggle with perfectionism. And you're one of those people who, if I can't do it perfectly, I'm just not even going to do it at all, right? And that is totally how I was when it came to affirmations, that I was like, I need to know everything about affirmations before I can really make one at all. And when I just no, I just got to start somewhere, right? I just got to start somewhere. And literally I had 8 and I had no idea what I was doing. And I was just trying my best, right? It was totally new to me and I didn't have anybody to hold my hand. I didn't have anybody to coach me through. I read the Miracle Morning. He told me that affirmations were important. I had heard my friend Micah tell me that affirmations were important. And I was like, okay, affirmations are important. I don't really know how to do it. I've heard a lot of ifs, right ways and wrong ways. And I don't know. I'm just going to try though. I'm just going to do what I've been taught from the people that I trust. And I'm just going to go. Okay. So first and foremost, I just want to give you permission to try and to fail and to figure it out. Okay. One of my very favorite books, and I'm sure you've heard me talk about it before, is Uneff Yourself by Gary John Bishop. And one of the first things he says is affirmations don't work. You look in the mirror and you say, I am a tiger. And well, first of all, you're not a tiger. And second of all, you're not a tiger. So stop telling yourself you're a tiger. He's got this Scottish accent and it's so dang funny. And that is where affirmations go wrong, right? When you look at yourself in the mirror, or you're doing your recording on ThinkUp, or whatever you're using to do your affirmations, whether you read them aloud from a journal or whatever, and you're telling yourself, I am 130 pounds and I feel wonderful in my skin. If that's true, and if that's not true, maybe that's your goal, but that's not true. Your brain automatically is like, no, you're not. Like, haha, joke's on you. That's right. And your brain isn't looking for, oh, but I want it to be true. Your brain's just like, yeah, right. No way. Right. So that kind of affirmation is not helping you. Okay. So if you're telling yourself you're a tiger, sorry, you're not. Okay, you're a person, right? And if you're telling yourself you're this goal weight already and you feel great in your skin already and you don't, and that's not true, that's not going to help your brain. So what you do want to do with your affirmations is have it start with, first of all, you just brain dump. You brain dump whatever it is that you need to. I've seen exercises where you brain dump everything in your life that you don't like. And I don't like doing laundry. I don't like that I cannot get a freaking handle on dinner and done. I don't like that I have so many sweets every single day. I don't like that these pair of pants don't fit. I don't like that me and my mom have a terrible relationship, whatever, right? Like some of those things were actually from my life and some of those things were not. I'll let you pick and choose what you think, right? Just examples, right? So you can write down, hi Lily, you can write down everything that is something in your life that you don't like, okay? And that's one way to brain dump to figure out what your affirmations are gonna be. Another way is, this is who I want to be. This is what I want. So the complete opposite, right? Like I want to weigh 130 pounds and feel great in my skin. I want to have a wonderful relationship with my mom. I want to be a master at dinner and done. I want to create beautiful, healthy meals for my whole family. And I'm really not doing that right now, or whatever, right? Like you can either say what you don't like, and then we can write affirmations to fix it, or say what you want and we can write affirmations so that you can grow into that person. Okay. There's no right or wrong. I've done both. And when I figure out, like I said, when I figure out like, ooh, I just realized a part of myself that I don't really like, right? Like that's the contrast clarity statement, that I don't really like that part of myself and I want to fix it. But then we can twist it on its head of like, okay, this is who I want to be instead. This is my current habit and I want to fix it. I want to change. I want to grow into a better version of myself, right? So there are lots of ways to begin your affirmation. And a lot of these that I'm going to share come from the Rise Up journal. I left this outside when the sprinklers were on, so it looks a little hammered. It's fine. But it comes from the Rise Up journal. So if you've ever heard of that, you can find this in the Rise Up journal. But it says you can use verbiage like, I love knowing that. It feels good to know that. More and more I feel. I'm in the process of. I love how it feels when. It excites me to. I love seeing. I have no doubt. And we were doing an affirmations exercise a couple weeks ago when I was at a leadership retreat in Idaho. And the that I really love that mentors me, her name is Micah. She said, I don't like, I have no doubt. That's negative. Okay. So instead of saying, I have no doubt, instead just switching it to be, I am certain that, right? Or something along those lines, instead of, because your brain really doesn't understand the word no. This is going to be my early childhood education guru coming out at you, but I'm super passionate about you never, ever, ever, and this is with your children or with yourself or with other people, you never say, don't forget, stop running, right? Your brain doesn't understand those words. Instead, you say, instead of don't forget, say remember. Remember the keys are by the front door. Remember your sandwich in the fridge. Remember that tomorrow we have this and this and this going on. Like if you switch those words to your spouse, to your loved ones, to your kids, it will be amazing. People will actually start to remember instead of don't forget. Brain eliminates the word don't and they hear forget, right? And then guess what? They forget. And it's not like 100%, 0%, but you'll be amazed that it really will change the way people respond, and try it with your kids. Instead of saying, don't run, don't run, don't run, or don't climb on that, or don't touch the TV, or don't touch whatever, don't, right? Instead, tell them what to do. Walk. Let's touch this instead. Play over here, right? Climb down from there. Instead of don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Tell them what to do. And that's something that I learned in early childhood education, but it is so true for everybody. Because really, I mean, we know, right? Like deep down, we're just little kids with big bodies, right? But we still think like children, and we still act like children sometimes, right? More than we like to admit. But if you can switch that, and so that's why the I have no doubt is no. Instead, I am certain that, right? So I'm going to repeat those one more time just in case you missed them. So I love knowing that. It feels good to know that. More and more I feel I'm in the process of. I love how it feels when. It excites me to. I love seeing. I am certain that. Okay, so let me give you an example. So I wrote down a contrast clarity statement that I don't like that my husband feels like he needs to work at a job that he hates. I don't like that. I want to be able to, I work, and there is no cap to my potential. I can make as much or as little as I want because of the type of job that I have. If I want to make $1 million, okay, great. I can. I have to work really, 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 really hard, but I can, and no one can tell me otherwise, right? And it's totally up to me. So I don't like that I am keeping myself small, that I have this like lack of belief in myself and all these mean girls that pop up and tell me why I can't and tell me why I won't and tell me why right? So I'm trying to work through them. I'm trying to figure it out so that my family can be fully supported by the income that I make. And then my husband can choose whatever the freak he wants to do. And if he wants to keep his job, cool, you can, dog. But you don't have to. Or he graduated in entrepreneurship. I know he has desires on his heart to start all these things, but he's never felt like he could because he feels tied down to our financial needs. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I want him to be able to spread his wings and fly as an entrepreneur, right? So I wrote an affirmation that says, I'm in the process of making enough money that my husband can pick whatever job he wants, right? It's more eloquently worded than that, right? That was just off the fly. I just made this like 2 weeks ago, right? But it's not, I already make $1 million because I'm so freaking awesome, right? Like my brain would be like, no, you don't. Like, no, you don't, right? I'm in the process of making enough money to cover the wants and needs of my family so that my husband can spread his entrepreneur wings. I said that weird, you know what I mean? And fly, okay? I'm in the process of, okay? That's the verbiage that I used for that one. I really want to master dinner and done. I am so sick of like for 12 years or whenever it was that I really started like loving health and fitness, I do so good, like so good. Morning, afternoon, evening, and then after dinner, it's like, oh, the kids are in bed and I deserve everything that I want that I've not let myself have all day, right? And then I like totally undo my awesomeness just in like an hour at night. And it's so frustrating, right? And so I've made this a goal forever to be better at dinner and done, be better at dinner and done. And it wasn't until recently that I made an affirmation for it, right? More and more I feel that dinner and done is getting easier as I stay upstairs once the kids are in bed, find new things to relieve my stress, dive into a good book, spend time with Blake and XYZ, whatever. Like I'm giving my brain other ideas for the result that I want. What I want is a stress relief. My kids are asleep. It's been a long day. I just want a a stress relief after they've gone to sleep, right? Like that's the purpose of me wanting to snack unnecessarily after dinner. So more and more I feel that dinner and done is getting easier and easier as I find other ways to relieve my stress by doing yoga at night, reading a fiction book, taking a shower, whatever, right? And that's my affirmation. And I'm rewiring my brain to look for other ways to relieve my stress and not like like, why do I suck so much? Why can I not freaking get my head around dinner and done, right? Like I'm not in that space. More and more I feel that dinner and done is getting easier because I focus on da 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 da, right? And I listen to my affirmations every morning. That's what I do the first thing when my alarm goes off every morning. I have my headphones charging by my phone. I pop in one of my Bluetooth headphones. I turn on my affirmations in my app, Think Up. And it's my voice recorded in this app. Okay. And it's like, I can't remember. When I bought it over a year ago, it was like $99 for life or like $7 a month or something like that. And I was like, that's a no-brainer. I'm just going to do $99 for life because I want to do affirmations for the rest of forever. And I think I really will use this app for the rest of forever. It's been over a year now and I have no intention of leaving it anytime soon because it's my voice. I can re-record them anytime I think of a new one. I can put whatever background music I want behind it. And so as I found awesome songs, piano songs and whatever that I put behind it, and it just like, like when you're watching like a sports movie. I don't know if those movies do for you what they do for me, but those like sports movies that are like Cinderella story, like the underdog totally comes through and like rises up and there's like music and it's like, oh my gosh, and all the clouds align, right? And you just feel so great. That's exactly what these affirmations do for me. Jeanette just typed in the chat that it still costs the same. Yes. So $99 for life, $7-ish for month to month. Okay. But that is how the first time I did my affirmations and I recorded them and I listened to them with this music in the background, like I totally cried. And you can hashtag them and I am not an affiliate. I'm not getting anything for telling you about this app, Think Up. I'm just telling you it because I love it. Okay. But you can hashtag what it is. So I record my vision in Think Up and my affirmations, and then I tag them so that sometimes if I want to just listen to everything, I listen to everything, my affirmations and my vision together. And sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'm just kind of in the mood to visualize right now. I just need to like get into the future because I'm feeling a little down about the present, right? Then I listen to my vision. Or if I'm like, you know what? I just really need to listen to my affirmations. Then I just filter out and just do my affirmations only. And it gets me in that headspace. Cheyenne asked in the chat, do you suggest to listen to your affirmations over just saying them to yourself? I did read them out loud for years. I did everything from a journal and just read them out loud from my journal. Thank you, girl. And I did just like a Google sheet so that I could have it on my phone wherever I was at and not have to like bring a journal with me when I was traveling or whatever. And I did like that. It worked for me for years. The only bad part about it was affirmations only work when you are reading them with emotion. And so it got really hard to like, I've been reading this same affirmation for 2 years because I still want it and it still isn't really happening. And it was hard to like read it with emotion. You know what I mean? It just kind of got rote and just kind of got like, meh, 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 meh. Kind of robotic, and I was getting very hit or miss on like sometimes I do my affirmations and sometimes I just whatever, I didn't do them today and oh well, right? And with Think Up, I love that I recorded it once. I made sure that when I recorded it, it was like that post-workout high where I'm outside and it's a beautiful day and the birds are chirping in the background and I'm like high on life, right? Because those are the things that bring me joy. I recorded it once. I was in a very positive headspace and now I just got to listen to it and it's that emotional high every time, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter when or how you do it. You just want to make sure that when you are doing your affirmations, you are reading them with emotion rather than just right? Okay. So that's the plug that I'll put there. So the other way to do affirmations is to start it out with because I da 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 I da 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 da, right? So because I take this action, I see this result. And honestly, I would say probably 90% of my affirmations are written this way. Because I react patiently to my children when they need me, when they ask me for help, I show up as a kind, loving, patient mom, right? And it's not me saying, I am a kind, loving, and patient mom all the time, right? Because that's not true. But because I react patiently when my kids need me, I am kind, whatever. So it's instilling the behavior. It's instilling that this behavior matters. And as I act on this behavior, I have the desired result that I want. And it reminds me, oh, when I'm not showing up the way that I want to as a mom, it's like, oh, okay, I am not reacting kindly right now. But it keeps me in check, and it makes me like, ooh, crap, I'm not showing up the way that I want to, because I know that as I react patiently when my kids need me, I am showing up the way that I want to as a mom, right? And it helps me to just be aware of those types of things. Carolyn said in the chat, my husband has been telling me that I need to have a different affirmation daily or it doesn't work. I respectfully disagree. What are your thoughts? And I think it goes back to what I was just sharing, Carolyn. As long as you can have emotion behind it, you go, girl. You go, girl. Like my kids, they just do I am statements, not I am a tiger, right? But they look in the mirror for their miracle morning and they say, I am strong, right? And I am beautiful, right? Like that's, and I don't tell them what to say. That's just what they say. And they say the same thing every day. Like Holland every day. I am strong, right? And Elila, I am beautiful. And she always does this little thing. And I'm like, they got emotion. Like they got emotion when they're saying these things. So I'm not going to change it. I'm not going to fix it. And yeah, you are beautiful. And yeah, you are strong, right? So I think if you can have emotion when you're saying it, you say it every day. If it's getting rote and monotonous and mundane and it's not really doing anything for you, okay, then switch it up. And that's whether you're reading it, whether you're writing it, whether you're listening to it on Think Up. If it's getting mundane and monotonous and not really speaking to you anymore, okay, it's time to switch it up. And I do that too. Even with Think Up, there's been times that I'm like reading through my affirmations and I'm like, have I been listening to that one? Because I've been clearly tuning it out because I don't even remember that I had that affirmation. And then I'll like listen for it and I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I have been hearing that. Maybe for some reason my brain already checked that one off. Maybe I'm already good at that and I don't need it anymore. So then I'll delete it or reword it or whatever, re-record it so that it sounds a little different. So that I can, does that make sense? Does that help? Yeah. Okay, cool. So let me read you some of mine just to give you a couple more ideas. And then I'm going to ask for a volunteer. So if you are somebody who wants to be brave and work through one, then we can unmute you and we can figure it out. Okay, so I'll share this one with you. I just wrote this one the other day. So I have been learning lately through one of my mindset coaches that, sorry, just had a thought squirrel moment. It's fine. I've been learning through him that your physiology really matters. And if your energy is low, the quickest way to change your energy is to change your physiology, meaning your body. If you are feeling sad or whatever, like we are always like hunched and we're looking down and we're meh, right? And if you want to change your energy, even if you're in a low place, you're depressed, you're sad, something awful is happening, you're whatever. And this is not saying don't work through those things. Work through those things, figure out why you're feeling that way. But the quickest way to change it is to change your body. Open up your shoulders, lift your head up, focus higher, right? Open your chest. And as soon as you just change your body, it tells your brain, like, oh, I'm actually doing okay, right? So I wrote an affirmation that says, because you've probably heard this TED Talk before, or you've heard about it and you just haven't ever watched it, right? But I said, because I power pose and use my body to exude confidence, belief, energy, and because I have faith to trust and believe that everything will work out, I am certain that I will see all of the success that I desire and work for. Okay, so that's my affirmation, right? So because I power pose and I use my body to exude confidence and belief, I am certain that I'm going to see the success that I work hard and that I desire and work hard for. Okay, so that's an example of one. Let's see. This is one of those, I know that. This says, I know that as I lead with love and let go of my need to be right, I am received as the best version of me, bright, playful, and fierce. Okay, because I recently learned about myself that I like have this need to be right, and I'm willing to like just fight people if I think I'm right and they're wrong. And I've learned that I just need to lead with love, and I need to be reminded of that because I just figured that out about myself like 2 weeks ago. And so I would forget that, and it would just be another, oh yeah, like 6 months ago, I remember hearing that. I forgot to work on it. Oh, well. And so this is my solution for that, right? Like, and I literally, even if I can't record one in that moment, I'll just go to my Think Up app and I'll click add, and I'll literally write like, make an affirmation about whatever it is that I just figured out. And then when I can't, if I'm not in a place right now where I can think about writing it or record it in a high energy state, it just reminds me to do it. And then I'll go, because it does a little notification that there's 2 that I need to record, right? There's 2 that I still need to edit and record and whatever. So that helps me if I'm not like in a place right this very second where I can write one, but I don't want to forget it, and I can put it in that app, right? So here's another one that I'm like with these words, I'm in the process of, right? So this is what I was sharing earlier. I am in the process of building an income that fully supports all of the financial wants and needs of my family so that Blake can pursue his entrepreneurial dreams. Okay, that's the words that I used. I am in the process of placing builders on, this is like a business one. I am in the process of placing builders on my left leg so that I can achieve 15-star diamond. Okay, that's like a Beachbody one, right? For coaching. I love how it feels to mentor my coaches to diamond and beyond, right? Instead of like, those of you who aren't coaches, you're like, I don't even know what that means, but that's okay. Diamond is like the stepping stone of like builders, people who are making Beachbody a business, that diamond is the stepping stone to like skyrocketing and growing their income, growing their team, making a huge impact in the world. So instead of me saying like, I mentor diamonds left and right, right? Like, I've been a coach for 5 years and I've only helped 3 people go diamond. So my brain is like, no, you don't. You do not help people go diamond left and right. You've only helped 3 in 5 years. Schnookums, you're not that fabulous, right? But I love how it feels when I mentor one of my coaches to go diamond, right? Like, and you felt that, right? Like you felt that difference in the way I said that. And that is true. I've only helped 3 girls go diamond, but holy cazoli, it felt good, right? It helped them. It felt so good to help them and to help them grow. So that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that like energy change, and not like a, well, that is not true. That is not true, right? And instead, like, yes, that's true. That is true. And I want to keep thinking about that. I want to keep believing that. I want to grow in that confidence and belief in myself in that specific area of my life. Okay. That's what you're looking for when you create an affirmation. Okay. So now that I've given you several examples, and you can do this in your family life, in your marriage, in your work life, in your health and fitness goals, in your every area of your life, spirituality, finances. I can't remember if I said that or not. How many books you want to read, like it feels good to know that as I make personal development a priority, I read 60 books every single calendar year, right? Or whatever. Like, you can have affirmations for every area of your life. I do. I don't even want to tell you how many affirmations I have, probably like in the ballpark of like 30 to 40. It's probably a lot. And I actually just deleted a couple the other day. So, go all out. It's all good. Okay. And then I just personally, if I listened to every single one, it would probably take me like 20 minutes. So I just set a timer on Think Up for 10 minutes. And then that makes it so I do hear new ones every day. So I don't hear every single one that I have every single day. But that's my affirmations and vision blended. I like to listen to them both together. So I just set a timer for 10 minutes and I listen to whatever ones come up that day for 10 minutes. And it shuffles them and it keeps it kind of new and fresh and exciting for me. And that's what I do personally, just in case you wanted to know. Okay, so who is our brave soul gonna be who wants to write one together? Carolyn raised her hand. Okay, girlfriend, unmute yourself. Let's go.
Okay. I've got a bunch of areas that I'm trying to work on. And I think I've got some that I've gotten from I'm calling it a abuse recovery book, but it's more, well, I guess it kind of is. The girl was abused, or not abused, bullied in school. Gay goat. She wrote More Than Your Reflection. And I've used some of the stuff from that. And I put that on my mirror and it's been helping me. But I still think I need to continue to help me grow in that.
Okay. So what is the limiting belief that you're working through?
That I'm not enough.
That you're not enough. Okay. So is the mean girl in your head just like constantly like, you're not enough, you're not enough, you're not enough?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is it about you that is not enough?
That I can never do enough or be enough.
Okay. Any areas specifically, as a mom, as a wife, as a housekeeper, as a
All of it.
all of it. Okay. Okay. So what does enough look like?
Doing everything that needs to be done. It's crazy. And I get myself overwhelmed all the time because it's unrealistic, totally unrealistic.
Okay. You are speaking my language because I totally understand your life. Okay. Let me read you the one that I have written about this specifically. Let me find it real quick. And if it doesn't help you, if you're like, that's close, but not quite there, let me find it. It was one of the first ones I wrote, so it should be at the beginning. Of course I'm having, okay, here we go. This comes from a Brene Brown book. I can't remember. It's either The Gifts of Imperfection or Daring Greatly. Because I engage in my life, let me start over. Because I engage in my life from a place of worthiness, I have the courage, compassion, and connection to wake up in the morning and think, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. Because I go to bed at night thinking, yes, I am imperfect and vulnerable and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I am also brave and worthy of love and belonging. I live a wholehearted life. Okay. So that one is kind of long, but it's just the point of reminding myself, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. And yes, I go to bed at night thinking, yes, I am imperfect, but that doesn't change the truth that I am also brave and worthy of love and belonging. Okay. So I love that one. Does that sound like it would help you or?
Oh,
No?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
In fact, I started crying. So, yeah.
Okay. I will copy it and I'll share it in our Fun Friday thread right now so I don't forget. And if you're watching this recording and you're like, what's a Fun Friday thread? You need to be in there, my friends. That's where the party happens. Okay, so if you're watching this recording, reach out to me either on social media or via email or whatever, and like let's get you in the Fun Friday thread if you don't know what that is. Okay, so I just sent that in there. So yeah, Laura just typed in the chat too. Do you have it written out somewhere? So yes, it's typed up in my Think Up app. So I just sent it in that thread. So if you need that, and you can tweak it and whatever. Cool. Okay. I love it. Okay, let's do one more. Does anybody else want to work through one so that we can kind of show how this works in writing out? Amy, I'm going to pick on you.
Gosh darn it. You know, when you're thinking it and you're ignoring it, and so then he goes the other way to.
Mm-hmm. I could see it in your eyes that I was like, she doesn't want me to pick her, so I'm going to pick her.
It's fine.
Oh, good. Okay, so what does your mean girl tell you all the time?
I hate my body. Not in a necessity of like looks, but in functionality.
Okay.
My body doesn't work the way I want it to. I hate it.
Okay. Okay. So what is it specifically that you wish it would do?
Not hurt.
Not hurt. Okay. Is there ever times that it does feel good?
When it's not cold outside.
When it's not cold outside. Okay.
It's been so long that we've been so cold for so long that I'm like, when was the last time my hands and hip didn't hurt? But that's when it's warm. I live in a bathtub in the winter time because it's the only time that my hands and hip don't hurt. So
okay, I love that. And I think that's a really good one. So that is one of those things, right, that it's really hard to control your body. Yeah. It's really hard to control your joints. But I personally am a very big believer in, I'm going to go off on a tangent, but I promise it relates. Okay. I am a very big believer in the way you speak to your body is the way that your body will show up for you. There was a time that I was doing 30-day breakaway and I was running and I totally tripped and like my ankle kind of hurt. And I was like, holy crap, my ankle hurts, my ankle hurts, my ankle hurts. And guess what? My ankle really hurt. and I remembered thinking, when I was in high school, I went to this, I didn't know it at the time, but it was essentially like a visualization workshop thing. And our swim coach, I wasn't even a swimmer in high school, but the swim coach at Lehigh High School, he taught us all like this visualization exercise. And I was on drill team. He made the drill team this like visualization thing. And I listened to it every single night. I put it on my like big old boom box in a CD, right? Like on repeat 3 times. It would sleep in 90 minutes. So it would repeat 3 times. And there was a part in there that said, like anytime my body, I can't remember the exact verbiage, but like anytime my body is feeling pain, I think warm and pink. And anytime, still to this day, it's been 15 years since I was introduced to that concept. I think warm and pink anytime my body is hurting. And I send warm and pink energy to the part of my body that feels painful. And that sounds so woo-woo. And if you want to judge me and like peace out on me, that's okay. I still love you. Bye. Right? It works. And I literally had someone, I danced in college, and I literally had someone come up to me and like, why are you never hurt? Like, how do you never get hurt? And I think it's two reasons. One, I'm a Nazi about form. When it comes to weightlifting, dancing, exercise, I am a Nazi about, I have my phone up. I don't have mirrors. I wish I had mirrors, but I have my phone and I look at it almost the whole time to correct my form, for one. And for two, if I ever feel pain, so in that example with 30-day breakaway, I literally like, oh, nope, my ankle does not hurt. Warm and pink, warm and pink, warm and pink, right? And I just kept running. I slowed down a little bit. I'm not like crazy and like, oh yeah, my body will just heal itself because I'm saying these words, right? Like I'm still smart. If I'm hurting, I rest, like the RICE acronym: rest, ice, compression, and elevation, right? But I also, instead of like, I wish my ankle would feel better. Why does my ankle hurt so much? Right? Like instead of being in that headspace of like victim mode of like, why me? Right? Like instead no, I'm taking care of myself. I'm going to rest it. I'm going to ice it. I'm going to give it compression. I'm going to elevate it. And I'm going to send healing energy to my ankle. And the next day I was able to run again. And it didn't hurt anymore. Okay. So that is not to say, Amy, that like, oh, it's all in your head. Like you're just a wimp, right? That is not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. But this is where the affirmation part can come in and totally heal your body. And I fully believe that. So your affirmation could be something like, I'm in the process of healing you can say your joints, my wrist, and my hips as I listen to my body, take warm baths, focus on my form, and praise my amazing body for all of the incredible blessings it gives me every day. Right? So that's what your affirmation could be. Something along those lines, right? I'm in the process of healing myself from the inside out as I fill in the blank, right? And reminding yourself of the little things of what does help you to feel better and what does help your body to feel good, and reminding yourself constantly and praising your body constantly for the good that it does do for you. Because when you focus on the good grows. And when you focus on the bad grows, right? I'm sure you guys have heard, maybe not, but there's this ancient like tale that I've heard a million times, that there's two wolves inside of your brain, right? And this little boy was asking his dad or his grandpa, like, there's two wolves in my brain, like what? And one is the bad wolf and one is the good wolf, right? And the little boy asked, like, well, which wolf was gonna win? And the grandpa says, well, the wolf that you feed. And it's so true, like in everything in your life, right? When you look for the bad, guess what grows? Hello, Corona, right? Like I knew people who were just the bad. And guess what? The bad was just everywhere. And it was the worst year ever, right? And then I also know people who, yes, I'm acknowledging that it was hard, but I'm going to feed the good. What's good about this? What's good about this? What's good about this? What's good about this, right? And then the whole perspective was, yeah, there's a little bit of bad, but look at all the good, right? And you can totally do that with your body, with your mindset, with your marriage, with your children. And when you are able to flip that, it makes a world of difference for everything. Okay. So Amy, does that help? Do you feel like you have somewhere to go with that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. Well, my recording friends, just to recap real quick, 2 ways to brain dump, either the things you don't like about your life or the things that you want in your life, and then write out your affirmations based on those lists, either using because I da 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 da, I da 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 da, and that's enforcing the behaviors that it will take to achieve the result that you want, right? Because I react patiently to my kids every time they need me, I show up as a patient, present, loving mom who doesn't freak out at her kids all the time, right? Or whatever, okay? Or you can start it out with, I love knowing that. It feels good to know that. More and more I feel I'm in the process of, I love how it feels when. It excites me to, I love seeing, I am certain that. Okay. So my challenge for you is before you go to sleep tonight, 3 affirmations. Okay. Put them in a journal. Write them on a piece of paper, write them on your mirror. You don't have to wait till you have $99 to buy Think Up, right? Like just do it. Write it on a note card and set it on your pillow. Okay. Write it on your body mirror in your room or your mirror where you brush your teeth or whatever it takes. Do something. Okay. And read them out loud with emotion. Record them in the voice memos in your app, like on your phone. Okay. And just listen to the voice memos on your phone of yourself if you don't have $99 to get Think Up or whatever. Okay. 3. And if you need help, I love this stuff. I really do. So text me. If you don't have my phone number, I'm your coach. Okay. Or get your coach's number and we can chat more. Okay. But you should have my phone number. I know I've given it to my people. And if you don't, that's because you didn't check your welcome email. So go check your welcome email and then you'll have my phone number. Okay. But text me if you need help. And like, all right, y'all, let's do this. Okay. Affirmations will absolutely change your life. And again, like I said at the very beginning, just start somewhere. This Bryn speaking on this nutrition bootcamp call about affirmations is 4 years later, once I really started doing them. Okay. So you got to start somewhere. And in 4 years, you'll be able to do a call like this and teach other people and pass it on, maybe sooner. Okay. So don't like get all up on your whatever. I can't do it because I don't know. I didn't know this much either 4 years ago. Okay. So just start, figure it out and you'll learn more. You'll learn that feeling and you'll figure out how to tweak them so that you have that emotion in you every single time. Okay. Recording friends, peace out. If you're on live, stay on live. We'll do one more friend before we peace out. Okay. Bye, recording friends.